Are you really missing out on a lot of ads if you leave in the cuss words? Because I be cussing up a storm on my channel, and
Yeah,
I'm not really good.
Fatman
I
found out that yeah
it
you can, and we're live by the way. Yeah,
it
you
it
can.
used to be worse, but it's still better to not have any.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It used to be like you lost out on like 2/3 of your ads, but I think like sometime around late 2020 it changed to like maybe you miss out on like 10% because now they have a new update where they allowed um advertisers to like opt into adult content like specifically instead of for advertisers to opt out of adult content. So now they have like those things where like if you have, an M-rated video, then you get a different ad window.
And
Uh-huh.
also like the not talking too much shop, but like they just added like they've been adding new features that are really cool that like well it allows you to like self regulate in a way where you can like oh yeah this has this kind of language in there and it gives you like the criteria for it. Like it's very transparent now where you can self rank and like I've been very consistent with how I rank it and they've not disagreed and I've gotten like the softest I think ratings. Um
Mm-hmm.
and then on top of it, like they added like the premiere. Have you seen the new premiere option where
Yeah, I saw
you
that.
can
I
have a
was like, did I
trailer?
click the right video? I was like, oh, this must be that thing that Fatman was talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the trailer thing. It's really cool.
I haven't gotten the ability to do that yet, but I have seen all the things about it, but I'm not like in the group that gets it. I guess
Interesting.
I'll get it. I guess I'll get it like later.
Weird that I got it. I did not expect that because I had no idea what that was. I'm like, oh, I don't have a video for this. Let me just find that old Shira thing and pop that in there because that's like under the time limit.
You gotta do a trailer of that video though, because a lot of people might have been like, is this the right one? Because I was like that, and I knew about it too. I'm such a dumbass. So, but I don't count because I'm a dumbass.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna.
Oh, Andrew,
If
Wood,
I
good
have
to
that
see
by the
you.
time I upload the commentary video, I'll use it.
Mm-hmm. And then hashtag. How's everybody out there today? Hello, hello. Not Redby,
Oh, are we live?
Ruby. God.
Yeah, we're live. We've been live.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, okay. I'm okay. Yeah. Hey guys, we're live. Did you know that? I didn't.
Dash should give us a heads up.
You lie? Okay. Well,
We're live,
Raymond
like
heard me.
Penny.
Right.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I heard you say earlier.
Oh, just because you're my boyfriend now, you don't have to be.
I know, right? No, seriously, I heard you.
That
I
was
messed with you.
amazing.
So are you gonna tweet it out?
Yeah. Vex and I
That
are
you
now
tweet-
dating.
I know, right? Check out the stream to find out the exclusive information about
Yes. Because we're so important. Oh my god, whatever.
it. Breaking news.
Alright, so here you guys are. Please RT and.
You should add Kalaxin. Should be like,
Yeah, yeah.
seriously? Should play. Is it wait for reals?
Aw. That was cute.
Just keep messing with her. Like no,
Yeah.
not serious. And like oh yeah, actually yeah. And like back and forth until she goes crazy.
But what if she watches this though? Then it doesn't count. You know. Oh, we should have kept it for April Fools. Who knows? Maybe in April we will be dating. Who knows?
All right, it won't be fooled at all. Yeah, Klaxon's not watching this stream.
What? All right. I have faith.
She has her own stream.
Of course.
That was like her whole. I remember inviting her to.
That was Fridays,
one
though.
one of the streams. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, you're right. That was Fridays.
We should go raid her stream.
It's a Patreon only stream.
We should
But
go.
it's also on Friday, so like it wouldn't even be the same day.
Well, I tried to call you guys to go raid Vex's stream, but nah. Ain't no party there.
I was
My
probably
stream was
asleep.
honestly, yeah, my stream was super random. I didn't even know I was gonna do it until like an hour before.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
That's why I was shocked. There was so many damn people in there. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
Jesus.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. Yeah.
Over 1,000.
That's
Very
awesome.
nice. And then last one in last post in Discord.
Yeah, once I saw, I was like, oh, I thought, I was like, okay, it'd be like 300 people in there, maybe like 400, because it's a random. Nobody. I didn't say I was gonna do it. Then I saw it was 1,000. Like, shit, this thing needs to be good. Like, I don't have
Aw.
I don't have any notes or nothing. I'm like, damn, I know 1,000 people gonna be in here. Like, what the hell?
People
Yeah,
are
so
already
I was shocked.
asking. People are already jumping on the penny questions.
Yep, we'll get them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Don't worry, we'll
Penny doesn't exist, guys.
I thought of a good
Penny
analogy.
was a collective
to explain
fever
her.
dream.
I thought of a good explanation for the penny thing. At least a better way to understand the rules at play. It's a little involved, but when we get to it, it'll be understandable.
All you have to say, it's magic.
No, because they actually set
Can't
rules.
destroy.
Yeah, he can't destroy, you know. So he had to do something with the soul. So, you know, make a body, you know, that looks like the robot.
Yeah.
You could put her in a
What
dog.
else would you do?
You could have put her in a dog or a cat or something like that, or stick her into Rwby, but no.
Oh, that would be the best if he just made a completely arbitrary body.
Yeah, random ass, animal, yeah, or
like
body.
like a default untextured poster
It's just
model.
CL. It's just CL. Turns out this is actually a paradox loop. We send CL back to go take care of Penny in the past. No.
He like recreates Pietro's body, like, well, it's his soul, so you know.
Yeah. I made the soul, his body, the body, the soul came.
That would have been hilarious. Yeah, Team Rwby, they just banked on him making the same damn body as the robot and saying, "Oh yeah, you have to get creative," you know.
Hey, it paid off. Their gamble. No, it was a risk.
Yeah,
They took a risk.
Yeah, it was a huge gamble. It was. I mean, he could have just refused. Like, I'm not doing this. I see what you guys trying to do. Nope.
I think like kind of like Jin. I think he's like very impressed. Like sort of like, all right, that's clever. And also, I'm like intrigued by all the inner workings of this little girl. So we're going to do that. And yes, I worded that because I like making characters out to be creepier than they are.
Since we're live,
It worked.
since we're live, how stupid is it that Jin knows all and can tell you all based on whatever question you ask? She can give you whatever information you want, but this guy needs the instructions. To
Well, I
build
was-
something like what?
Someone
No.
explain it.
I
Someone go
I
ahead.
think the clarification with him is like the instruction stuff is more like trying to prevent the monkey's paw. I think you literally could just set him loose and just say, "Hey, do this," like, and give him a very blanket statement. But if you don't have, and I think that's the reason why Osman's like, "Oh, he's a bit of a character," and they cut away. I think that was him basically. I think it's kind of implied. Look, this guy really loves doing the monkey paw shit. I think Britt was very much in on that, where it's like, if you don't get every detail down to the letter with this guy, he will screw you over because he thinks it's funny.
That's the implication you got.
Didn't he ask for the schematics?
No, that's a nice way of like, you know, trying to explain
It's
their
the
writing.
challenge. It's the challenge that the
But
dude loves.
That's not what they're going for. Wait till the commentary comes out. He'll say, "Oh, he needs instructions. He can't make anything. He just needs the blueprint." The way you guys are explaining it is awesome. Had they put it in the story like that, sure. Had they explained it like that, fine. But they didn't do that. They just said, "All right, this guy needs a blueprint or schematics, like any craftsman." They make something. Oh, if you don't give him set rules, he's gonna go overboard. No, that's not them. That's not how.
I can see where you're coming from. That is very possible.
If he had started, like, if they were like, "We want this," and then he started making it, and then they were like, "Wait,
whoa,
we
calm
brought
down."
blueprints."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We wanted exactly like this, and then he would have been like, "Oh, I see what you."
That would have worked. Had they said, "Oh, we want this," and he said, "Okay," and he started building a whole bunch of shit. Like, whoa, calm down. We want it just like this, Like, okay, fine. Then all right, that's what they're going for. But that's not the implication I got.
Yeah, I thought he asked. Like, I thought like he specifically said, like, "Do you have
almost
blueprints?"
like you better have it or I'm not doing it, kind of thing. Like, yeah, where's the instructions? Where's the blueprint? If not, it's
No,
not
he
happening.
Didn't, he didn't,
Well,
he
the
didn't
weird
say
thing
that at
about
all. Like, what you're
no,
saying that he
I
said
do
if
remember
you don't
him
have it,
asking.
you don't do it.
No, that's how it came across.
No, I didn't get.
I'm gonna look it.
I'm gonna rewatch it right now.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm gonna do exactly what you tell me to do, but don't be mad. I don't want to hear it. Something. Don't complain if it's wrong.
I'm
But-
gonna need a reference. He said, "I'm gonna need a reference."
Yes, I'm gonna
He
do
said that.
references and.
Then he said,
Now to explain while they're looking at that, I can briefly explain the penny thing.
All right.
And this was actually workshopped a little bit with the Sketchy Huntsman. We had a big discussion
Because
over
of
this,
commissions.
What?
At least
No,
that's what all the artists in the Tundra were talking to us about. That's how it was compared to.
The way it was for me, at least, when it comes down to like how this worked, is like, all right, we wish for like we have a coffee maker that has coffee inside of it, and we need you to make a new coffee maker out of all the old components, but without the coffee inside. The caveat is the coffee cannot be on its own, or else it'll spill. You need something to contain the coffee. And so
it's the fox chicken corn puzzle.
It is. And so in order to solve the fox chicken corn puzzle, he just creates a new container as a byproduct of the wish. He makes that completely of his own accord, effectively, and puts the coffee inside of that, and then makes the new coffee maker out of all the old parts.
All right, can you explain to us dumbasses that never heard of the fox chicken corn puzzle? Because you were going with coffee, now it's corn. Now I'm hungry. So just tell me what?
Okay, the fox chicken corn puzzle is a very famous logic puzzle where the idea is you have a fox, you have a chicken, and you have some corn. Your goal is to get all three of those things across the river. The caveat being you can only carry one on your boat at a time. However, if you leave the fox with the chicken, the fox will eat the chicken. If you leave the chicken with the corn, the chicken will eat the corn.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all about trying to juggle all three elements in such a way that one does not eat the other.
Well, corn ain't eating nobody, but okay.
Yeah, corn is... Yeah, but the corn is the one you just least expect. It eats you.
No, see, if the corn is alone with the farmer, that's when it strikes.
It'll give you cancer.
I mean, no lie. Corn silos, have you guys ever heard of corn silo deaths? They're terrifying.
Yeah, I can see
because like there are air pockets in corn silos that just they don't fill up, and you breach them and you just sink in like quicksand.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I can see that. But before we do anything, Raymond, I don't know if you're looking at the stream or not. Here's something that came up in your chat, and I told it I'll put it in the stream if you want to read that. From
if anything, I would love to see a more show not tell, like Monty did with his action videos, taking inspiration from his storytelling format, maybe an action scene in episode 1 where it's just action. Yeah, I would not disagree with that necessarily, but like the problem with Monty stuff is that it's typically short. So that could not carry a full episode because people will inevitably get dull to action after about 10-20 minutes. It starts to really wear on people because like if you're just boom, 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 boom. It really, like, you just start becoming desensitized to all the intensity of it. And I remember that's a problem that I had a friend had, where, like, he said that a lot of Monty's work was kind of weightless. There was no weight to it. And I thought at first he was really talking about the actual combat itself, which had its issues. But I think more to the point, it was the fact that there were no stakes to, like, Dead Fantasy, for example. Literally, Dead Fantasy was just character models throwing themselves at each other.
Yep,
It basically all it was. And it didn't have a story until like later, where they started like pretending there was one, and there really wasn't. I don't really know where it was going. I don't know why he threw Nominee in there of all things. It got really weird. So with that said, I think shows that have a much more quiet and slow, well, not quiet and slow. You can have an action, like a prolonged action sequence, but you need breaks in it, and you need to have at least trying to communicate things. Like if you want to do it silently or near wordlessly, that's fine, but you need to have slow breaks where the audience can digest what's happening, build up their own stakes for what's going on, become acquainted with the characters in some way, shape, or form that endears them to the viewer, and then continue the action sequence in which we're like, okay, yeah, that I'm following this guy now. I'm rooting for him. That kind of thing.
All right. Thank you, as a Cadron Wolf? Cadron? Like Cauldron?
Cadron.
Yeah. Thanks for that super chat
Kal-
for
Kaluha.
on Raymond's you know,
Callie Belladonna.
what? Anyway.
I was
Hey,
paying
Kaku.
attention. What?
All right. Oh, I just turned to
don't
look
remind
at
me
the,
that
at the
penny is
chat.
an acronym.
I just looked at the chat and everything's red already. So many questions already. All right.
Don't
Rolls up
remind me that
sleeves.
penny is an acronym. I can't remember. Like, what does penny stand for?
Oh, I don't care.
Self-contained
Oh,
underwater
yeah.
breathing apparatus. I don't know.
Yes.
People eat whatever.
It's a W. All right. So let's dig in, shall we? All right.
Yes.
So.
Let
Go ahead, guys. Oh,
what's
hello.
the first question?
Oh no, you said. I thought you were talking. Sorry.
No, I said let's. When you said let's dig in. I said let's.
All right. Well, let's go here. I don't know if you were answering this or not, but I'll read it anyway. Andrew Wool. I already got a bit of a plot hole. Why does both Penny have why does both Penny have skins? Do both Penny have skins? I guess since Ambrosius didn't make anything new, the old Penny shouldn't have skins. So
No, we clarified he did make something new. He did, but it wasn't the target of the wish, and that's the caveat. Is that the trick is to getting him to make something as a byproduct of the wish that they intended, because that's the loop. The loophole is that the wish, the thing created by the wish that was intended, is what's destroyed, but what's created as a byproduct of that is not.
It was a massive gamble. That just happened to work out for him.
Yeah, it was a massive.
There's no way they could have known that he was going to do that, or he was going to help them in that way, right? Just like it just worked out for them. They took a gamble, it worked out. If you think any hard about it, it's like you have to say, well, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Why did he refuse? He did it. He created the body. That's. I mean, it worked out because the plot. Because
and the thing is, I'm okay with it. I am okay with it.
Sure.
The bigger issues I have are more like, well, okay, in the Grand Zark, why has Ozpin never tried anything like this? Or why didn't we get Penny's perspective on this? Why didn't we get like we didn't really get Penny reacting to like the idea that she may end up ceasing to exist if this went wrong. Like we didn't get much of that. And that's where like the whole like the robot being creepy and like breaking down and collapsing on itself, like that would have been really impactful if we had those questions like addressed, where we had these characters with these doubts in the back of their minds. So when Penny looks over at her other self collapsing, it's not just this character that said, oh yeah, I'm going to do this plan. It'd be this character that like, I might die doing this, guys. I don't want that to happen, but I have to, or else I'm going to die anyway. And then she looks over and it's like, oh, that could have been me if we hadn't done this. I am both relieved and horrified at what I just witnessed.
They presented it as if Team Ruby knew it was going to work. The plan was going to work.
Well, they knew that
we don't
he
have to
couldn't destroy though, so that they knew she wasn't going to die because he can't
But
destroy.
the soul could have went anywhere. It could have been a floating. Have you seen the movie Soul? The animation,
No.
the Pixar movie. She could have a soul floating around the air for all they knew.
I think the I think he said that it's against the rules of the universe for there to be an aimless soul. Because
When
I
did he
think
say that?
Make any sense.
That does not sound familiar.
You just made up that line.
I no, I'm not saying that's a specific line, but I remember something along those lines being said, where like you can't have a soul without a body.
He said, "What's a soul without its body?" Something like that. What's a soul without its body? And you say, "Well, just got to get creative."
Exactly. I think that implies that like
Or
a soul and a body are inextricably linked. Like they you can't have one without the other.
That's so dumb.
Why is that dumb? Necessarily.
Because then what is Ozma?
Ozma is you can't count him. You can't count him. He talked to the gods, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Like, you
he's
can't count him.
like there's like breaking the rules because you're gods, but at the same time, like Ozma still has bodies. Like he just keeps hopping from body to body. He's not a loose soul. Now, the question I'd have is like, how does that transfer process work? That's what I'm curious about. But
What about the machine that sucks out your soul and puts it in Pura?
It just
I
means
mean,
that your
they
body
did-
doesn't have a soul.
They did that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the Ironwood made that machine with his scientists.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the soul was stored in it. The soul had like a conduit leading into another body. At all points, the soul had some kind of tether to the corporeal realm.
So then why
whether
didn't
it
he
be a
make
machine.
a conduit?
Let him finish.
So basically, the machine acted like Penny. Like Penny can host a soul. She had a body. She was a body. The machine was like an intermediate body for the soul to transfer from one person to another. And so you can't have a soul without a body, but you can have a body without a soul.
So why didn't he just make another robot body and put the damn soul in the robot body?
That was my running theory for Penny. I think that was the intent with Penny the whole time, was that she was going to be a replacement maiden. And that would explain why he bothered bringing her to frickin' Vale.
No, I'm saying why didn't Blue Man create another robot body and put the damn soul in the robot body?
Because
Personally, I think because if you put in the same virus into another robot body, it's just going to happen. It's going to be, it's going to be the same thing. Whereas you put it in a human body, it's not going to do anything to the human body.
I think that was just creator's choice.
Yes, exactly. Oh, there we go. It's because plot, correct?
Well, no. I think it was his character, like him as a character. He just preferred putting her.
That was I was waiting for you guys to finish to be
and
like,
that's not,
his personality has a lot to
character.
do with it as well, because he was so interested from right off the bat when they're like, she's not just a regular girl, and he was like, what? And he went to go look, and he was so interested that even like I think what was Britt said, yeah, I would give some leeway, if I had never seen anything like that before. So their personalities have a lot to do with it. And I also mentioned, too, with Jin, she gave Rwby a freebie as well. Not that this was a freebie, but this was like, all right, let's see what we can do kind of thing. Where I think they're just bored. They need to do stuff, and they have some will, but not a lot. Not like for it all. They have some of it.
I think we all agree. We're just saying it a different way. They took a gamble. He made a decision to create a new human body version of Penny and put the soul in. That was his decision. He didn't have to do it. So with the gamble on their end, on Team Ruby's end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And I wish they would have played it more like they know these ancient things in the relics are just bored and they long for any sort of human interaction, so they will do whatever you want.
You can't tell, like you can't tell by just looking at them. They're kind of like they're.
Well, I was going to say
not looking at them, but talking.
I think it was a calculated risk. I don't want to say it was a gamble. I would say it's a calculated risk. It's a bit more specifically, because I think Ospen knew the rule of this is all implied. I can't say this is 100% for sure, but the idea that you can't have a soul without a body, because or at least for him in specific, if you have a soul without a body, that means that soul travels. I would assume the soul travels to the afterlife after that, because it just assumes that the body's dead. Like
you're making a lot of assumptions here.
I am, but I'm trying to piece together from what we know about the lore.
Yeah, he specifically said that this is not it. This is his.
This is all supposition where I'm trying to just parse it together.
Fair enough.
I think there's a lot of there to chew on, with this stuff. So the idea, if you can't have a soul without a body, and you can't if removing the soul from a body is destroying somehow the person, he can't destroy, so he must create in order to transfer all these things. I think that's their gamble with risk. It's like they basically forced him into a wish where it was, you must make new thing, but if you make new thing, you'll destroy old thing. So you must make something to replace old thing before you destroy it. It's like a weird logic, and I think that's where they're it's a calculated risk comes in, as opposed to it just being like a gamble. Like that's a very distinct difference to me. Also, I think Ospen probably gave him some tints. Ambrosius is kind of like this kind of dude. He's like all into this kind of stuff. So,
I mean, they also technically put him in the position where creating anything new would destroy Mantle. So, like, that didn't play into his decision making at all.
No. I think destroying as a byproduct is something different.
What?
You can't order him to destroy that coffee mug over there and just delete it from existence. But you can ask him for a hammer. You can ask him for an anvil like 5 feet above that coffee mug, and then like just create it, and then bam, the anvil falls. Like you can do that.
I've come to the realization that I absolutely hate these goddamn relics. And these stupid ass rules that sometimes apply and sometimes they don't. I mean,
if I were to wish, all right, I want an anvil that constantly respawns about 5 feet above Salem in the most inconvenient position
you
possible.
changed it from Sun.
Yeah.
We don't want to dream in Junior. Okay. All right.
Well, I was like, okay, I want to trap Salem in a Dyson sphere.
Dyson, a
Oh, could you
vacuum?
wish-
Dyson? What?
Or no, maybe a gorilla, Tyson.
Okay. Next.
But bring up the next question, yeah.
All right. That was fun. Anything else? Fatman, I know I keep like asking you, even in the reaction, I was like, Fatman, I need to know, because you're the quietest lately about this. Like, I can't tell.
why so quiet, man?
Why so quiet? No, I just like they wrote it
Exactly.
that way,
Mhm.
and trying to pick at it like a scab is like, it's not gonna reveal anything worthwhile. I'm just thinking, if they can fuck with the gods like this, then they can ask Jin. You know, they should be thinking now, like, oh, why don't we just like trick Jin into like answering our question about how to kill Salem? Because you can fuck with the form of a question until you can just Jeopardy that shit.
Well, okay, I was thinking about this, and this might come down to the personalities thing, where the idea is that Ambrosius gives the slack when it comes to like how his processes work, but I think Jin might be much more tight-lipped, and she might be like, "Look, I'm not going to answer that like that is the most transparent, like manipulative question. That's not the kind of question I answer." Like that kind of thing where she's like, "I'm not taking your shit. Ask an actual question." Like I could see that happening, because Jin hasn't been asked anything that really rubs up against her rules yet, and I would love to see if she as a personality has limits, whereas Ambrosius is much more like, "Hey, this is cool, and I would love to play around with this." And like, "Oh, your wish is gonna let me do that?" But it has this weird kind of, yeah, we'll see what I can do. I'll be creative. I can see that being like a distinct part of the mechanics, where it's like the artifacts have personalities that affect things.
But I'm amazed Ozpin would know that about Ambrosius if like all that he ever did was like make town go up.
Well, no, the Great Ward.
You broke up. What'd you say?
Oh,
Oh, you there?
Oh,
we're still breaking up.
Yeah.
Was that one line
Okay.
implied that he made these relic?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
we can.
Okay. Sorry, he used the relic during the Great War. So
what?
like, we don't know, but we know that he has used the relics in the past. So he used what relics did he use in total?
he hit somebody over the head with it.
Okay.
But during the Great War, he
Create
used
pain on their face.
All right.
Send
Which
him around to
relics-
go beat everybody up.
Great War Rwby. What relics did he use during the Great War? Let me try and find that image.
As you're looking for that,
Craft,
Janice says that
crown,
Rwby
and,
confirmed. Rwby has confirmed that this person, Ambrosius, knows how to inherently knows how to make a whole ass and vagina. Okay, thanks, Janice.
I was gonna say something I forgot.
Actually, wait. He only had 2 relics in those images. He only had the sword and the crown.
Well, it looks like you were wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong.
So he didn't use it to create pain. Is there a limit? Because like the whole thing was like, oh, Jin's gotta 3 questions. It's like, does
Oh, wait, no, he did have the staff. It's right there in green. That's
Does-
weird. Why is it in green?
Ambrosia have a limit? Can they just continually ask him for shit?
They can continue asking him for shit. That's still was the
That's
implication.
what
The
the
second,
implication was. Yeah, that's, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
got. Also, like, I
Which
don't
is-
understand why Jin needs a password and he doesn't.
which kind of led to my whole rage tweets the other day.
Okay.
This the realization about Ironwood and not using the staff and these fucking writers and how they tend to piss me off. But yeah, yeah, it was a whole thing the other day. That's funny.
Yeah, right there.
I'm
Did
good.
they ever assign the staff's limits only to physical stuff? Can he create eternal pain in Salem?
Yeah, it's
Good
what
question.
Where is that?
It's
Like
literally
I
the
said,
newest one by Andrew Wool.
There
Alright, so
was
all the way at the bottom.
there is an infinite amount of ways they can use that damn staff creation to get rid of Salem. An infinite.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
And they use it to make Atlas float.
floats.
Yeah, can somebody answer that? I mean, maybe I missed it.
God.
Maybe I'm that dumb. But why did it need to float again?
Because they wanted it to.
Yeah,
Just so you
because
what?
yeah.
For funsies.
Are you
That's
serious?
what
No.
they
I
were.
don't. I
No.
don't know why they made Atlas float because
No,
again,
the reason they made Atlas float was because it would be harder for Grim to get to it.
but it was
it
already
wasn't-
harder for Grim to
That's
get through
not
Mantle
what-
because of the cold.
We can go look it up right now. Because
But it
sworn he
wasn't
said
though.
Ironwood said something like he wanted Beacon to be like a symbol of innovation, something like that. He wanted City Atlas to be like like the symbol for innovation and to always looking forward and always like aspiration bullshit. It wasn't like it wasn't because of Grim. It was because of like just a show off basically.
So he pimped his ride. That's about it.
Yeah. Much like the sword of Damocles, we wanted it to hang over the heads of Mantle.
It's so stupid, man. Like they wanted a reason for it. Just have the dust be the reason why it floats. But no, it had to be the staff. Could have wanted a reason why, we can't use the staff creation because it's holding up Atlas. So in my mind, okay, well, obviously they stopped using it to hold up Atlas. It's gonna go plummeting to the ground. But no, that's not the case at all. So I'm like, this is just like so they could use it at any time. So what my god.
Abel says because Oz told James to make it float in volume 7, chapter 7. All right. And also Springfan says because the floating city is named Atlas, Dashie. Get it? Atlas. I'm like, okay, well, why isn't it on some dude's back? Maybe a big ass statue. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No. You see, there's actually a stealth sequel to Atlas Shrugged. And Atlas went the fuck off doing something else.
Atlas.
I think he's trying right now. We're not getting it.
I'm trying.
So
I'm trying very hard.
yeah, I'm
Please
gonna go
clap.
ahead and go to Tundra and ask those questions in there because those are fun. So that's
Atlas floats. Atlas shrugs.
We all float.
Hugs, not shrugs. Okay. Do you think that I remember I said this back in like episode 1 or 2 reaction, but I always predicted that like Weiss's mom is gonna do a big summon and it's gonna catch falling Atlas.
yeah.
Do you think
I
that's
don't
gonna
think I
happen?
don't think that's gonna happen. No.
Hell to the no. That would be cool, but hell to the no.
Yeah. There's no more.
I mean, they're fucking setting up Cinder for crying out loud. Man, the more I think about this chapter, the more I like get back to my space of like, fuck this show altogether.
Why
yeah,
are you thinking about this chapter?
Guess what we're supposed to be doing here?
Vexed, this is therapy. Let it out, man. Let it out.
I know the video is called "Talking Rwby" with free. What's it? FR or what's that pronounced?
Frostbite.
Frostbite featuring Viewer Volume 8, Episode 12. But yeah, this chapter, man, is yeah.
To Aiden Blitz question, which is on screen currently. Can you imagine how things would be different if Osmond possessed Rwby instead of Oscar? Can you imagine if Osmond had possessed literally anyone except Oscar? Literally anyone, and this would have been better overall.
Could you imagine if
Such a-
Osmond possessed Torchwick?
Rage boner for Oscar, I swear.
After he got
you
eaten.
brought that up, not me.
Yes.
No one had to take a shot because of me this time.
Who takes the shot now? Yeah. Did
Ryan.
they make Penny without her shoes just for
feet
the
pics.
creepier fan artists.
That's it.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's the
say.
only reason,
yeah.
okay?
That's actually. Did you saw the thumbnail for Floof's video, the Hero Hey parody?
No,
which
no,
was
that.
like,
No.
I saw that.
well, no.
No.
It was.
That was in the
the
Tundra like
chat,
a
yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah.
The
So
feet?
let's
But yeah,
move
the
on to
feet
this.
pics.
Let's
He sent me that. I was like, I sent him the image of Penny's feet, and he's just like, "Oh no, Raymond, why?"
Ryan Carson's atlas is actually built off of Ambrosia's backs. It's a pretty sexy sight, to be honest, and I'm straight. I'm like, you don't have to be gay to appreciate art, okay? All right, so
Ryan Carson, Celtic is a secret hate boner for Oscar. Why is it secret?
it's not
Why
secret.
is that
It's
thing
not
out
secret.
there- out
That
in the
thing is
open?
hanging out there, like
Yeah,
it's poking
it's
people in the
hanging,
eyeball.
It's loud. It's proud. It's that full mask.
Add me to the list of folks that don't care for Oscar.
Sword fighting with Oscar boners. Okay. All right. Let's see here. We've missed. I missed. Alpha Omega, Beta Sing. Favorite Ruby weapon? Now, are you asking favorite Ruby weapon for the girls or the show? Because I'm just gonna go, basic bitch Ruby's weapon.
I'm gonna
I
go
don't
with
know.
that really stupid fucking gun Ironwood had this episode that would literally shatter your wrists when you fire it.
Yeah, but
Like-
we don't know what it does though.
Any gun that you have to hold at like that angle that doesn't have any kind of shoulder
I'm
guard.
telling you, me and Fatman told you it's a super soaker. It's just a super soaker. That's it. So what
Oh,
t-shirt
man.
contest? Okay.
But no, I am just dumbfounded by how they keep designing stupider and stupider weapons for this show. But no, weapons that I like in this show. Oh, that's a good question. What weapons do I like? As much as I hate her character, I like Robin's crossbow thing. It's pretty cool. Then
I think you're the only one that likes her weapon. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say.
I mean, I think otherwise it's pretty harmless. It has a buzzsaw blade as like its melee, and it has a crossbow bolt. It's not bad. It's a harmless weapon. But yeah, no, I think I have to go with the simplicity of Crescent Rose. Crescent Rose just hasn't been topped at all.
Vex and Fatman.
I haven't the faintest.
No,
I don't know. I don't
really?
know.
I'm not moving until you tell me.
I can't think of it, but I
Stop
feel like I
being
would
so
have had an
mad.
answer.
Remember the good old days when
feel like I
we
would've
met
had an
and
answer.
no kidding.
like earlier this year, but I don't have one right now. I don't know. What about you, Fatman?
Which one of because what the question was, which one of the weapons or which one of Team Ruby's weapons?
Just
Any
what's
weapon.
your
I
favorite
would just
weapon?
pick whatever right now. Like I don't
Any
know.
any weapon in Ruby.
Oh, I've always liked Nora's hammer.
Yes.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Magna Hilda is pretty cool.
Did you even notice that
Yeah.
that song had that lyrics? Be strong and hit stuff. The one with Ironwood's fight.
No,
Yeah, it
one
had
with-
that line.
One with
I was too busy
Iron
laughing my
Wood's
ass
fight.
off.
Okay.
Oh, somebody in the comments pointed out that they said metal in Ironwood's
Oh,
song for Lost
God.
volume,
Oh,
and I'm
God.
like, yeah, we've been saying that. It's also the name of a personality trait.
Oh God.
It's like, no, them saying the word metal doesn't like absolve them of having the semblance just be a personality trait. So many people are like in the comments are pointing out like, I mean, not correct arguments.
I mean, we're
You
not
know
we're
what?
not
Oh.
questioning that the writers are saying it's canon or that that's what's happening. I'm not questioning that. I'm mad that they didn't put it in the show properly for like casual viewers or like a way you're supposed to watch the show. I'm not really
Yeah.
mad. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I'm torn on that because I agree they should put it in the show for casual viewers. At the same time, they shouldn't put it in the show because it's fucking terrible. So like,
Yeah, it's like right now. No, I wouldn't even touch it. Right now.
Yeah, I just pretend that that panel they did wasn't canon
Was it-
instead of trying
exactly.
Yeah.
to work that
Exactly.
semblance into the show.
All right.
But
Isa
I
wants to
agree
know.
with-
Oh, go ahead.
I agree with Ryan Carson. I like Ironwood's double or dual wielding pistols. Those were cool. In the
By
fight with
themselves. Or
Yeah,
with
by
the
itself.
thing.
Not with the middle thing.
Okay.
Yeah, not when they're attached to the great big super soaker.
Yeah, not
Right.
yeah by itself. Wait, what was that? Was that his weapon? What, like,
That was his two pistols locked into that thing. Did you not
Really?
realize that?
I did
Like,
not. I just
the grips on that were his pistols
Yeah.
that locked into it. For some reason, it like they screw the thing screws into their barrels.
Well,
Like
yeah, I think it's
I
like
don't know
like
how
a
that
click-in,
works.
like a clicker.
He didn't even use it. It's oh my
Right. That
gosh.
I mean, I wish I knew what it was gonna do. I mean, what do you guys
They
think
don't
was
really
gonna
know.
happen to Penny right then? and there? What do you think was
I
doing?
think it would have just been a laser, like a generic laser weapon.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
big blast.
And like another thing about that is that the two guns, like, they don't go into the body of the big part in a way that would let them actually fire. Like, it's literally just a strip of metal that they're like connecting the barrels to.
All I
And
know
the
is that
middle part is completely separate.
yeah. All I know is that when he was holding that, my back hurt. It was so like uneven. Like I was feeling the pain.
I mean, do you know how much wrist strength you need just to hold that up, not alone fire it?
Yeah,
Oh, he has robo hands.
yeah, that too.
It's fine.
All right, so Isa wants to
guess.
know: do you think Ambrosia is partially based on Robin Williams' genie? I would think a little bit, yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
completely.
I think they all are.
Yeah.
I think
Just
they're
'cause
all
of the
based
blue?
on all the genies because they're blue genies.
All the genies. What other genies are there that?
No, what I mean is I think all four of these
Okay.
personalities are going to be based on
Mhm.
the blue genie from Aladdin, either rendition.
Remember when they said that it
And-
was going to be his daughters?
Yeah,
I thought that too.
I do remember that.
I'm more leaning on that's the maidens now because again those are all female specifically, and there's no other reason why you would make them all female.
All right.
Which one is going to be the Will Smith genie? Is it going to be choice or is it going to be destruction?
I feel like this guy is actually more the Will Smith genie. I think the Robin Williams genie is going to be choice.
I think I still stick to mine where Fluttershy is going to be the one that is on Beacon, and it's going to be harder to get because she's so shy to come out. Those personalities.
I
Alright.
think actually I completely lost my thought. Continue. Sorry.
All right. Elvin Sage asks, how disappointed are you that Ironwood's bomb plot took less screen time than the Sean arc? Especially when he finally got the mythical gun and it got yeeted by a single kick.
Vintage Rwby writing. You know, they go out their way to kill off their big bad by nuke. Oh, we're gonna set up Ironwood's ultimatum. We're gonna have its whole little end of the episode where he's look in the darkness and he's looking like the old villain. Oh my God, how they gonna deal with this Ironwood threat? It's an ultimatum. Oh no, just for him to like get killed off, get knocked out like what a minute.
Yeah.
It's just vintage.
Honestly,
Peak Rwby.
Go ahead.
Peak Rwby. That's all. Go ahead.
Ruby. I'm way more upset about not knowing what that gun did, but not the bomb. Like I needed to know. I needed to know if it was worth that back pain.
I could care less about that damn gun. But yeah, they freaking like just I don't know what's the point of like look at these cliffhanger episodes and how they're terrible at payoff. They are horrendous at payoff. They can't execute shit. We bring up they bring in the big bad of the big bad. The entire fucking show is now in the forefront, and she's been out of the show for the last few episodes. She got nuked.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. They're not only bad at payoff, they're bad at setup. But like in the inverse ways, because like the scene with Penny getting a real body, that could have been one hell of a payoff for an entire character arc that doesn't exist. like they were kind of playing it like, oh, this is really cool, this is very sweet. Penny finally has a real body, and it's like we didn't focus on it. We didn't focus on anything Penny related, really. Like, oh, sure, she might have died. She got a little possessed. Okay, fine, but we didn't really. We didn't focus on any of the human elements that go into that with her. We just got the like, I don't want to, but I must. I don't want to, but I must. We got that, which is the same shit we're doing with Oscar, by the way. For the record, they're just reusing that plot point, just putting that out there. The only difference is that one's made by a bad guy and one's made by Watts.
I mean, you're right. I'll focus on the payoff, but they're bad at everything. But yeah, I'm focusing on the payoff at that moment. But yeah, I have an issue with the whole like hacking of Penny and how that resulted in nothing but her getting a new body. And I was going back and forth with Claxon on Twitter. I'm like, there is no ramifications for this whole thing. There was so much build up. Oh, it's in the intro. She get hacked. Everybody's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna kill someone? What is she gonna do? I'm scared. Oh my god. The winch was hacked for a little bit. She was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then she got knocked out and she got controlled. Then she got boosted by John. Now she has a new body. That's it. That's the whole hacking arc. Is this? There's no certificate. This is nothing. The show is just nothing. It's just disappointment after disappointment after disappointment.
Yeah, now we can take a shot because I'm going to bring it fixing Rwby, because when I had Penny getting hacked, what did it ultimately result in? It ended with her getting killed because she tried to murder someone on a massive public stage. Like, that's how you do a hacking plot.
That would have been better.
You handle it.
Yep, would have been better.
And now it's leaving me like, how am I going to handle the hacking plot in Volume 8 when I finally get to fixing it?
They literally did the hacking just for a way to justify them using the relic to give her her own body. That's it.
Basically, like I said, I am completely fine with how the mechanics of this episode played out. It's everything building into it that I've had the biggest issue with, because it doesn't, like, either they build up to something that has no payoff, or they pay off something that had no build up. That is how this series works.
Correct.
And it's so weird that they get that wrong so often.
It's almost like they're bad writers.
No, I have seen bad writers still do things right. I don't know how they did. Like, this is impressively bad. Like, it is impressively bad how they do this consistently.
And it's not like they don't know about it, because people complain all the time. And it just, I don't know. What do you say, Fat Man?
Oh, he had to be right.
Oh man, he wasn't here. Damn it.
But yeah, it's always this, like, I don't know how you can write a story where Penny gets hacked and you don't use that to like mess with the audience in a way that would be interesting, or mess with Penny in a way where she had to deal with, oh my god, when I was hacked, I did this awful thing. But no, she just gets held down and it boosted by John, and that's it.
Okay. In the reaction, Raymond, you said writers don't want to kill off their babies. Okay. Because I mentioned something about maybe it's because censorship, but I don't think they even have a censor. Like,
unless their name is pure.
Right. So
they have a fear of killing their darlings, which is a rule.
I remember what.
Kill your darlings is a rule in storytelling. If you love something, you must be willing to also kill it when the time comes. It's one of those things that you learn as a writer, where sometimes you just love a character, you adore a character. I can imagine. I'm not really big on Game of Thrones, but I think it's Littlefoot. People loved Littlefoot, but at some point, your luck runs out. And you gotta die,
sure,
or you gotta be removed from the story in some way, shape, or form. Rick from The Walking Dead, I mean, he didn't die, but he got removed.
But like, why?
Even though he's the main character,
does there need? I mean, Vexed. I can't even ask this question because I don't know. Why do people have to die? Like, I'm not asking for me. It's just like,
why
death doesn't make a good story. Like,
no, but if you want, the problem is with Rwby. If you want, the show has to have stakes.
Yes.
Fights have to matter. Conflict and danger must matter. Mm-hmm. So every time there's some kind of conflict and danger, and your character come out all peachy keen and everything's great,
sure,
there's no stakes. There's nothing to worry about. Like, am I supposed to be worried when I see Cinder pop up? No, because she keeps failing. She doesn't do anything. Am I supposed to be worried?
Okay.
Dashie. The big bad of the story shows up. Mm-hmm. You have Yang, John, Emerald, Oscar. Did any of them get a scratch? Ren? The big bad is in a fight.
Baby.
In the same
my new
proximity
boyfriend. Listen,
with all these characters.
Hold on.
No one got a scratch on them.
Remember when I was like so on your side when we were like, yeah, Salem is coming. She's gonna like sneeze and everybody's gonna blow away. She's the big bad. They gotta do something. Yay. I'm with you. I hear you. I do. I just want to know, besides dying, okay, besides characters dying, what's another way to do stakes? And
maiming,
don't say on the grill.
Trauma.
Someone getting hurt. Bad
maiming, trauma,
ramifications. Bad things happening.
Emotional disagreement, which it was the reason why I loved very much in Volume 7, like the conflict between Ironwood and Team Rwby, where these two very strong allies suddenly had a massive schism between them, and they had to choose sides, and that led them to bashing
Absolutely.
heads. It also led to one of the
Absolutely.
lamest fight scenes in the entire show, but that's
Yes.
besides the point.
Team Rwby lying and their audience like what they're lying. Is there going to be some kind of consequence for this?
Yeah,
And it came. Okay,
I'm
there you
100%
go.
with you. Yeah,
Right,
that would have been
Ironwood
beautiful.
calling them out.
Killing your
um,
darlings is all about the nature of consequences and basically building stakes. If there
Okay,
are
not-
no
okay.
consequences for the actions taken, like
So it's
there-
not
there
necessarily
should be a-
death then. It's just
No.
Yeah,
stakes.
yeah.
Okay.
But Dashie, in the show where you have Grim and
Mhm.
Evil and guns shooting around, the fact that
Sure.
Pyrrha, through 8 volumes so far, Pyrrha is the only main character, only darling that's getting killed, is kind of shocking.
No, I get you. I get you, man. I do.
And then you have the situation in the same volume where Yang uses an arm in that same volume. So really, none of the darlings, quote unquote, have gotten killed or maimed or hurt in any way since volume 3. Which is why I like volume 3 a lot, because there were stakes.
Okay,
Rip
wait,
Sienna, but that's another thing.
technically speaking, Weiss did get impaled, but
And then it was over in 2 episodes later.
yeah,
That's
and
the
then
problem.
it was immediately healed by John. So
Yeah,
like
and
that's
the issue.
That's the issue. Is that like
Yes.
no, there was no consequence for that stuff.
Correct.
It needs to have lingering. Like even if like Weiss was like limping for like the first half of volume 6,
Bingo.
that would have been some. And then like naturally like over time John has like healed her a little bit more and more, and she's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm completely recovered. Like that would have been fine, but like have her be at a disadvantage, have her be have a disability. You know, when you get injured in a fight, have it fucking matter. When you break an arm, your arm is out of the fight.
Raymond is on point. He's right on the money. The girl was full powered, impaling Hazel 2 chapters later as she got impaled. She was impaling Hazel herself 2 chapters later. 2 chapters later, like, everything was cool. Had she been out of commission or hurt or in bed or like for like half a volume, oh okay, she went through something. Okay, now she's coming back full strength. But she was like 2 episodes later kicking ass. Okay. Like
Just so everyone knows, not just you guys. You guys should know this, but I know you're frustrated, and I get it, and I'm here for you because, like I said, it's therapy. It's therapy. It's therapy. I'm here for you. Just so people out there know, when I ask questions, I don't necessarily ask them for me.
Yes.
I ask them because I'm sure other people have these questions for you guys. Okay, so
Playing
don't be
devil's
like,
advocate.
"What an idiot." Okay, well, I'm actually no. Go ahead
Yeah,
and be
yeah,
like, "What
yeah,
an idiot." She doesn't know anything, because it's true. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so but I'm just
You know
want to clear
pretty
that up. But yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I would love to see more of that. Yes, I want to see maybe more maiming, if no killing, or trauma. Maybe like a kidnap and torture, a little bit more torture than what we saw. Because I don't consider that like to be like horrendous torture. Yeah, it was a child, but it was this whole thing. But I am with you. But I just don't know. We don't know what kind of limitations Rooster Teeth has when it comes to that too. I am not sticking up for them. I am not making excuses. We just don't know. So
That's interesting. Are you implying that there's like handcuffs on them creatively, that they can't do what they want to do potentially because they can't kill someone off if they want to?
yeah, I mean, why not? Especially
I
now with
could see
HBO.
that.
I mean,
Like, I
HBO.
could
I
see
know it
that
doesn't give a
because-
shit with some, obviously, because it's.
I think they're in full control.
You know?
I think as long as Team Rwby's what they had to keep safe. Everyone else should be up for grabs. I don't see why HBO be like, or AT be like, hey, can't kill off Ren because so and so. I understand Team Rwby. Like they said, don't kill off your final 4 there. Fine.
This is where I have the problem with them, is that they don't utilize the time that characters have very well. So like every volume, characters in maybe some minor way should be either going through some kind of character development or some kind of character challenge where they don't change, but at least have their perspective or their ideology or maybe their physical performance challenged in some way. In volume 5, literally no one progressed forward. They were literally just static because they were sitting in a room. In volume 6, like 2 or 3 members of the cast got development, but everyone else was just again left listless. Hell, Juniper vanished for half the volume because that's just how it was structured. So when you have that, then they keep pushing back the development moments for every single character, the big plot points for every single character. And so by the time it gets to like a natural conclusion for their character's arc, or a good time for them to die off, like, maybe Ren died in volume 8 at some point. Well, we can't do that because we still have so much we have so much character development to do with Ren. We have to push that off till later. So like that's kind of an issue they have, is that they don't focus their time well enough. They don't try and do multiple things at once. Every scene in the show, like the good scenes in the show, do multiple things at once, but so many of them are just one thing at a time, one thing at a time, one thing at a time, one thing at a time. It's always like this scene does this scene does this. It's not this scene does this and this and this. It's just this scene does this. And it's like, it's very mechanical in that nature.
Do you agree, Vex?
I don't think you were saying this per se, Raymond, but I don't think you have to explore every corner of a character before killing them off. Because if you do that, you get in a situation where, oh, he's gonna die, obviously, because they're doing all this character work right now. So the character's probably gonna die. Sometimes it makes it obvious when a character deaths are coming. Could definitely call those red flags. Or
no, definitely. But like that's also poor writing. That's the opposite problem, where it's like you guys are focusing so hard on this character, like the death flags are popping up everywhere. The way you want to do it is just like gradually over time, just have these little tidbits of like, one thing at the beginning of a volume, one thing at the end of a volume, or like something in the middle a little bit. Like you can sprinkle in these character moments that do multiple things that, these story beats that do multiple things at once from multiple characters. You can do that. And then at some point, one of them gets killed off. And like, it doesn't matter if it's being predictable necessarily. You can still do it in a fun way.
You just said it takes time. And these episodes are like limited. And they're not like a big, well, now they should be a lot better. I wish it was like a consistent, like, 22-minute episode, like every week. And I think because they don't even know how long they're going to get to. Do they, I know for sure it's like, 9? And is it 12? I don't remember what was confirmed for how many chapters. But, like, it's not even like a full season either. Like, like for like comparatively speaking, time wise, they don't have as much time as like with a regular anime. Like, is that?
No, they have at least movie length. Like, you got to consider that. Like, they have a full, what is it? So it's 20 minutes per episode. There are 14 episodes. 20. That's 280 minutes. Hey Siri, what's 280 minutes in hours? 4.67 hours.
Hey, Siri, you're so famous. Come on the show.
But no, 4.67 hours. That is a ludicrous. That's the Snyder cut. Hell, the Snyder cut isn't that long.
Yeah.
And so like you have time. You have time to breathe for all of these elements, for all these things, more so than you realize, and they waste time on stupid shit. Like,
it doesn't take time, it takes stuff happening.
Well, it does take time. It takes well-utilized time. It takes skill and effort. And it's not demonstrated very frequently that they can do. They occasionally, like, kind of like this episode a little bit, they had moments in here that kind of touched on everyone a little bit. You had Rwby and Weiss's preparedness, Ruby's knowledge of schematics and stuff like that, though that didn't really come into super strong play. Yang talking about how the arm is only a part of you, or it's an extension of you type deal. Mm-hmm. Like you had little bits here and there that were threaded through, and like, yeah, right there, they understand it right there,
mm-hmm.
and then they do nothing with it.
Hmm.
Notice he skipped right over Blake. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Oh yeah, Blake got nothing. Blake was literally just there. Blake got a lesbian hug. That's all she got.
Fatman, do you have anything to say about what just happened in a half hour?
I mean, yeah, I did. I said my take.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's not about time. It's not about like the amount of. Because you can do things, and you can do things fast if you really want to. Like, it's like, what all did the characters do in this volume? like Rwby fucked up, and then they lampshaded Rwby fucking up, and that was like it. The rest was like Ironwood and Winter, like they were the ones that were holding the reins of the story of this volume.
Trash.
And then don't forget about there's the Oscar subplot, him getting kidnapped and all that.
Rwby is
Well,
true.
that was Salem though. Like Salem is the one who sent Crunchy out after Oscar. Like, what were Yang and what's his name doing when that happened?
Defending
Standing
Nigel.
still watching.
Standing still, watching him get his ass kicked. Yeah.
Like they had this argument that came out of not any sort of character motivation, but a desire to separate the cast into two different groups that weren't even that different because they don't have enough dynamics to work with. So they're just like, oh, let's just separate the characters differently, and let's give these two, Ren and Nora, let's give them characterization for the first time ever. It's like,
Yeah.
we have to
distinct
introduce and
characterization.
resolve their character arcs while letting everyone else just sit there and rot in their own lack of a story. Like you can do whatever you want in 4.5 hours, you say? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
They're bad-
more
they're
than
bad
that.
with character development.
More than 4.5.
A year.
How about
A whole
how about
year.
Rwby? How about Rwby in her whole last chapter? She's like, "Oh man, I fucked up. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I made a mistake. I'm a bad." Basically, implies she's a bad leader. She fucked up. Like my plan didn't work, and then they just dropped it. There's no carry through from that point. They don't like. I thought, oh, maybe in the next chapter, when it's time to make a plan, she'll be like, "Nah, I'm good. Someone else do it because I apparently know what I'm doing." No, they just dropped it. Like they're not even gonna cover it, continue it. They're bringing this shit up, and it's over. And then it's
They
gone.
lampshaded it so it could work in the next episode. And they're like, oh, see, we addressed it. She had character development. It's like, no, she didn't have character development. She was just written differently between two.
Yes, and then it's gone. There's no carry through. There's no continuation of the decision.
Would you say
it's
they're
just over.
focusing on something different right now, like getting the what they said they were going to do? Like, what? How could they have squeezed it into this?
That's not that's not really the crux of the issue. The issue is that they are doing this instead of
Okay,
giving...
but as for now, right now, I saw Vex. I'm talking Vex's thing. Like, he was
Well,
just talking
well,
about the past couple of episodes.
They
How-
made the decision to have Rwby say they wrote it, so they could have done what they wanted, anything they wanted to do. Then after the next episode, they said, all right, maybe we can use the relic. Okay, let's come to plan. Boom, 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 boom. That's how they decided to wrote it. That's how they decided to write it. They didn't have to write it that way. They could have written it in a way where Rwby was like, all right, I'm out of this. I'm not going to come up with the plan. They could have put it in the story. You just have to write it that way. They told her how to write it that way.
Okay,
They
but
told her
that's
to
what I'm
make it-
asking. Like, can you give me an example quickly, like of like how they could have shoved Rwby in there real quick?
We said shove Rwby. We mean
Like
we
give her
mean-
some character development in this past episode.
Oh, well, she brought up. She talked about how, like, oh my God, something happened to my mom. Blah blah blah. See, the whole thing in chapter 11, the whole scene, seeing her Yang. Then the next episode, when they come up with the plan, she keep her mouth shut, and you focus on her being quiet. You didn't have to say anything. You look at her face like, okay, she's not commenting or she's not saying anything because she's still thinking, I'm talking about her mom. She's still thinking about her mom. She's still thinking about what happened and the plan. Okay, she's shutting up. She's not saying anything. She looks depressed. She looks like it's easy.
Vulnerable,
You don't have to-
like lost, like yeah. Okay.
Sure. She looks down in the dumps.
All right.
Even that alone is enough. You don't have to. She don't have to say. She don't need any dialogue at all. They could have just said, "All right, there's the carry through. There's the payoff." She's still thinking about her mom. She's thinking about the fact that her plan didn't work.
Like
But
yeah,
just dropped it.
like her confidence should have been a little lower. And
Yes,
stuff.
confidence shaken, but they didn't do that. They're just, all right, here's the
Alright.
plan, guys. Let's go take Ironwood, and it was over.
All right.
Yeah, it was literally a Dr. House moment. You know, when they're like, oh, it's like you just go to Ironwood, and she's like, oh, well, that's a risk we didn't consider. It was
Yeah.
just like, it was instant. It was an instant turnaround, a reversal of fortune, and it's like, guys, okay.
Are you besmirching the good name of House?
I'm besmirching the writing practice of a Dr. House moment. The only reason it worked in that show is because first of all, the character is so far up his own ass, and the performances were amazing. like Rwby wouldn't have a moment like that because she's not an asshole.
I now want to see House in Rwby.
In the
Like,
red
oh yeah,
shirt.
what if Ozpin were played by Hugh Laurie?
No,
all
for-
right. Let's keep it really here.
And like, yeah, no, that would be the obvious place to put Hugh Laurie in Rwby.
In
No,
a little dress.
Ironwood.
In a little dress. All right. So, Peter Flynn has been trying to ask thoughts on Ironwood's balance. Balance. What the fuck am I reading? Semblance.
He has two left feet.
Balance.
Semblance. Bad writing or lazy semblance.
Both.
We've been over this.
It's all in perfect balance. It's bad and it's a semblance. It's
Yeah,
balance.
it's useless.
It's not one or the other. It's both. It's bad writing and a lazy semblance because it's bad because it's lazy.
I still don't consider it a semblance.
It shouldn't be in the show. Basically.
I still don't consider. I am an anime only. I still don't consider it a semblance.
Yeah. And Floof has been asking about this animation. Yes, I didn't. Actually, I've noticed that when we first watched it. But I think we were talking about something different that I didn't point it out. But yeah, the animation, there was some weird stuff going on with the ships. Like they just kind of like flew at weird angles. If you can play that clip, Dashie.
If I was going to ask, if I play this clip, is there any copyright or anything that's going to...
It's short. It's like 3 seconds.
As long as it
Alright.
lost less than 7 seconds, should be good.
All right. Okay, so the ship...
Copyright.
it's Floof. It's Floof. All right, Floof. I
Scream
see.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
It's just like, oh hey, let's keyframes.
All right.
That'd be hilarious.
All right, these long questions kill me.
Do you think making Penny a real girl lessens her character?
No.
No.
What?
No.
Fatman thinks she's
makes
gonna
her
die,
more
though.
vulnerable. Yeah, Fatman thinks she's-
Why
Do
else would
you
they-
honestly think so?
Why else
Really?
would they
He
do
does. He does.
Why else would they do this shipping fault?
Shipping, yeah. Well,
I want to believe you, Fat Man, but the issue is
this? It's Rwby.
they brought her.
What?
They brought her back to begin with. So they brought her back in Volume 7, the beginning of Volume 7, just to kill her off. What to make her a real girl in Volume 8.
I think so. I think they are. Well, I'm not. I don't think so. Like, I'm not willing to bet on it.
Okay.
But
I got you.
I think that they would do that. Like,
I'm telling you, I'm thinking it's going to be Volume 9 kill. If it's a kill at all, it's in Volume 9.
What about their history of killing off characters? Do you think they'll kill off Penny?
redhead girl.
Oh, fair enough. And they kill her off before.
why is that such a meme? Oh my god, where's that Nora picture? Give me that.
Second
Nora
time
picture.
to second time to charm. Like, can't kill her as a robot. We can kill her as a human.
Yeah. I mean,
I would be
honestly,
surprised. I would be
with-
surprised.
with the amount that they kind of like are directly addressing some of the early criticisms of the show in their own way. Like, I honestly think that they obviously know people are like, oh, seriously, you guys expect us to believe that a robot is dead? You know, they've all heard the turn her off and turn her back on jokes. Like, and with, I think they would do it. I think, and making her human is like, oh, well, now they can't turn her off and turn her back on, and it removes the whole, like, oh, Pietro question from consideration. Like, that's not even a thing anymore.
So you think this whole setup with Cinder, how they started off the volume with Cinder, gave us her backstory, they gave us all this bullshit with Cinder, her crying, all of it was set up for her to eventually kill Penny and take the maiden power?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would completely, I would say called it if they did that.
I will openly admit they're setting up Cinder for something. That, I mean, it's obvious, right? At this
Yeah.
point, like,
If
this is her
Cinder
volume.
doesn't do something, then I just, like, I don't know.
There's no hope for them. Yeah, they literally started the volume with Cinder and all this bullshit with the backstory and all. They're literally like leaning into her. So something's gonna happen with Cinder. Now she's like the final antagonist, which I can grant on for like another hour about. But whatever, she's the final antagonist of the volume. So yeah, something's gonna happen. Okay, you're starting to convince me a little bit. Maybe that's what they're going for. Okay.
I'm I'm of the opinion that Cinder, they're definitely building. Like I said, they still have the chance to reuse Cinder. They can bring back Cinder. They have that chance. She just needs a smart plan, and it needs to work out in order to make her an actual legitimate threat again. Or not again, but for once.
Again?
Ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ever.
Miss, I fail every time I try.
Clarified. It was a slip of the tongue. Clarified. But I don't think it's going to be Penny's death. Because like Penny can fly. Like I guess she could do like the whole like
Maiden power she can.
Maiden powers.
maiden powers.
She's gonna get her maiden power sucked out by Cinder.
No.
I feel like what might
No.
happen is like
She's gonna get the big suck in the sky.
No, the reason
My
I said no, not
prediction-
like that, is because he was so. See, this is what I mean about like things change from the reaction to the streams. Even though Fatman's like, oh, nothing's gonna change. No, they changed because he
people-
totally was like, yeah, she's got the power, so she's gonna fly. And now he's like, no, she's not gonna fly because oh yeah, Cinder's gonna do that. I remember.
Reneging on its previous comments.
people have raised a good question of does Penny understand how to like eat, breathe, excrete? Does she know like all the bodily processes? How does she handle that? Does
Well, she shouldn't, but because of the writing of the show, the relic guy set it up so she has all the understanding.
I was gonna say,
because,
did he set up with the owner's manual and set her head already?
basically
The owner's manual of a human body.
she knows everything.
She
right
watched
now.
all the
Can you
YouTube
imagine
tutorials
that?
and everything. She's watched them
Can
all.
you?
How does
and-
shit? Why does this have 12 million views?
Oh man.
She knows all about how the female body functions and all that. She's all caught up.
Oh, I'm sure Rwby will teach her. There, I get to make the nuts and bolts comment, so Raymond doesn't have to.
Since
I
when does
am
Raymond
happy.
care? Like he'll just do it anyway. Like what?
Yeah, I was very happy that it wasn't just it was Rwby and Weiss that got the biggest, longest hugs from Penny.
Well, she doesn't know the other two, does she?
Exactly. It's great. It's wonderful, and I'm like my dolts and bolts shipping paradigm is perfectly maintained.
You are the best. You are so
I'm
such a shipper, and I love it.
I'm not even convinced
It's
that's
so
Penny.
cute.
What?
I get little. It's one of the few bright spots in this show that I can be like, those two are cute, or three are cute together. Like I can do that and can be like, I am happy, I'm content.
Mm-hmm. What were you saying, Pat?
And then I remember the rest of the show exists.
I said I'm not even convinced that's Penny.
You're not gonna be convinced that what?
I'm not even convinced that's Penny.
Really?
No.
Oh, you're joking. Okay, now you
I'm
said,
joking.
why'd you do that? Because I'm all like, she was kind of weird
I
about
should
it.
have kept going. I
She
should have
was
kept going
kinda
with it.
weird. Huh. I mean, now.
What,
Well,
if
the
it
whole-
was, what if it was Ozpin who like jumped ship from Oscar's body?
Yeah, no.
Did we see Ozpin?
No.
after that scene?
Or maybe it's Freya, because they haven't really explained that
It's
whole
Neo,
transfer of maiden
goddammit.
power bullshit.
We're all right. Okay.
Oh, I just thought about something. Oh my goodness. The last time we saw Neo, she had met up with Watts and Cinder.
Mm-hmm.
Then they cut to Cinder at the end of this chapter. I don't want to know what plan they came up with Neo, if she's working with him or not.
She's still pointing with her
She's still
umbrella.
she's still pointing at the umbrella, exactly.
Yeah.
She's staying out there.
No, she's like just frozen
Yeah.
in that same frame, and Watts is like, is she okay? And Cinder's like, she does this from time to time.
Are we even going to get are we even going to see that conversation between Watts, Cinder, and Neo? I mean, I don't care, but are we going to see that conversation?
I
They
hope
might
we
do.
do.
Oh god, they're going to do the same thing they did this episode with the heroes, like a parallel type deal, where like the villain's plan goes off without a hitch, and then we get to see.
Then they
them
show it.
planning
Yeah, this whole
Okay,
plan.
okay, I would actually dig that, unironically, if they did the exact same thing where at the first minute of the next episode, Watts, Cinder, and Neo just own shop, and then it cuts like the rest of the episode is like a flashback to them planning that out.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
I wouldn't hate that, honestly. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. That'd be the best episode of the season so far.
Oh, okay. So.
But what if it's like incredibly stupid how they do it?
It's still.
All right,
that
Looney
would make
Goon. Right? From the Tundra, asking questions. All right, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
another long one. All right, how did you do that again, Raymond? How did you make it short? So, you're saying.
Okay, so the other two were created by the god of darkness. How we think? So basically, these two were created by the god of light, and the other two were created by the god.
No.
No,
We-
I thought
No,
they
they
were all
were
created
the
by the
god
god
of
of
light.
light.
They
They were
were
all the god of light.
Yeah, it was.
Headcanon.
Yeah, that's a. It's.
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
Uh huh. He
Yeah,
just.
so that's it.
All right.
And
Yang.
then basically, the next one's asking if, basically, if I ask it to make me food, and then I eat the food, and then I ask for something else, do all the nutrients go away and causing me to be hungry again? Yes. It's a great diet, actually.
What if you like wait until after you fully digested it? It's like
Yeah, and shit it out.
Well,
yeah,
then it just takes the
It
nutrients from
disappears.
your body. The
that
shit
would be
disappears.
great because
the-
you wouldn't leave any tracks. You wouldn't leave any shit anywhere. You wouldn't have to wipe.
Exactly.
You're a Harry Potter character.
You wouldn't need the bathroom at all.
Not all that
Or Star
evil.
Wars character.
Seeing as Hazel is dead and Ironwood is a full villain now and defeated the most anticlimactic way possible, do you think Salem is going to get a hold of Jimmy 2 seats and use the events of the last 2 volumes to manipulate him into being her new strongman?
Jimmy
Someone's
Thick
gonna get a-
Cheeks.
Who?
Who?
Ironwood.
No.
Because he has 2 seats.
Oh, James Ironwood. Okay, I forgot his name was James. I just
Yeah. That's why I said Jimmy 2 Cheeks. Yeah, I mean Thick
Jimmy-
Cheeks.
Jimmy Thick Cheeks.
I could see Ironwood breaking. I could see him being like, they're so ungrateful. They don't appreciate this. And if I'm gonna be disrespected and I'm not gonna be able to stop you, why
Didn't
not?
come here to be disrespected like this? Yeah.
This whole-
No. Okay, go ahead.
I would say this whole entire volume has been like how not to handle your antagonist 101. Like this whole entire volume, they've shitted on their antagonists in different ways that I'm not sure they're aware of, but I'll discuss it soon enough. Go ahead.
I'm still like
Holding out?
not convinced, but man, if they do the thing that that I think they're capable of, I don't want to word this as confidently as I worded my last epic call, but like I think they're fully capable of doing the like, oh, it was my semblance, and now that my aura is broken, I've come to my senses. I think they could still do that.
Not a chance in hell.
Really?
I would don't say. The problem with this whole bullshit semblance, the man's had that semblance his whole forever. Like it's passive. It's been going on the whole entire show. So now you expect me to believe that, oh, now that his organ's broken, he'll come to his senses. So what the hell was he earlier in the show? Like a crazy man that with crazy semblance working? No, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
He's paranoid.
It doesn't work, man.
So Vex, does it work?
No.
And Ryan, his answer, and this is just for Ryan because he won't stop asking. His answer is emoji, laughing face. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. What were we saying? Does it work? No, it doesn't work. Okay, so
Greater than symbol : left parenthesis.
So when Fiona has objects in her semblance, in her beautiful hand, her
Fiona, who's that?
the kawaii sheep hand. You don't? Are you serious?
No.
Oh, damn.
He's joking.
Okay.
But when Fiona has objects inside her semblance and she dies, do the items pop out or do they cease to exist? No, you have to actually dissect her. You have to actually stab into her gut and gut her like a
more
pig.
broken.
Hold on.
McDonald's ice cream machines are
You might as well kill off
RWBY's
Fiona.
plot.
Hold on. Who is that?
Nani,
Hold on.
Devil Blight 69 donated $3 just now.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's more broken, McDonald's ice cream machine or Ruby's plot? Ooh,
Ooh.
Oh,
Ruby's
God.
plot. Sometimes the ice cream
Wasp
machine
in
works.
McDonald's.
Actually, no, they're about equivalent because sometimes they both work, but very rarely.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Since you're
Another reason why I think they're not going to do the whole thing about the whole semblance Fatman, because the fact that they brought it up in the panel the way they did makes it seem like it's not going to show up in the show at all. Like they're not going to call it out in the show. If there was going to call it out in the show, then we're like, oh, that's spoiler question. That's spoilers. Just wait and see. But because
You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
Which
And when you're
makes
right,
it
you're right.
which makes this worse because they're using it to excuse his behavior, and it's like you guys are just terrible at this.
It's almost like if the diehard fans want to know why he's doing what he's doing, then they get the answer in the panel, I guess. But who cares if the regular audience knows, because it's not actually in the show. It's almost like just trying to save their asses, like, oh, you fucked up with Ironwood. It's simple as make him crazy. Yeah. It's I don't.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
It's not gonna
So basically, this next one is by Dino Biker, which, by the way, awesome name.
I know,
great
and the
profile.
little bike, yeah.
He's so cute, little cute.
And it's Barney.
Is it Barney?
I think it's purple and green. I don't know.
But basically, it's like, okay, so everyone gets a portal, including the villains, who are just going to follow them. Which great plan. Yeah, I know. I would have excluded them. Actually, that would have been great. It's like excluding these people. Don't let them walk through. Like make it like a one-way. They don't get through. But on another note, do you think that Salem being unkillable was a big mistake for the series? No, I think you can make an unkillable villain work because it's all about like mitigate. And when you look at it, like there are shows that are all about diseases and they're unkillable. Like you just learn to live with them, or you find ways to like work around them. You don't kill a disease; it just exists. She's a literal disease.
I mean, who are we kidding? The other characters in the show are unkillable, and they can die, and they can die. So I mean, and they're unkillable because of the plot. So like, it'd be different if like other characters were dying. Oh, the main bad is unkillable. All of them are surviving this shit. I mean, Hazel gets taken out because he's by self-sacrifice, and no one acknowledged it. But Emerald was kind of funny. But yeah, there's no death. There's no danger here.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we've mentioned the doors opening and the portals, why in the sugar-coated fuck did they open the portals in Salem's next target? Emerald is there. Emerald knows that Tyrion is already on his way there.
Yeah.
And they also know that there's no relic in Mistral. So that is completely safe from Salem.
Yeah, why take the people? Yeah, why? And it's closer, so why even bother taking them all to Vacuo or just taking them all to Mistral?
And Vacuo is like a shitty desert.
Remember, there was no fall of Haven. It was only the redecorating of Haven.
Redecoration. Like, what? Who gives a shit even about Haven? Like, send them to like Mistral. Send them to that No Faunus bar because it's Atlas. He'll probably love having it Legion customers.
Guys, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
I just don't know. I'm a little confused. Why did Yang mention that realm? Like, it's not attached to Remnant. This would be a great place to hide a bunch of refugees when they're going to Vacuo, right?
Yeah.
What are they going to do with that? Why did she say that then?
I guess the implication was he's like, I need a reference for like where to funnel, how to funnel people to the new area. I don't know why he needed a funnel anyway, but it was like, oh, we can use a place like this. It's like not a Remnant. So like, but then he makes a place where you could fall. It doesn't make any sense. Like, do you see anywhere to fall in his damn vault? What are you doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The point was, use this, like, this is an example. This whole vault is an example of a place where you can funnel people to the next destination.
So she wasn't talking about that area there that was like vast and like, hey, people can build houses in there and shit.
No, she's talking about like having a place where that's not a Remnant that you can use to funnel people to another location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just a reference for.
Yeah.
All right.
And he took that reference and made something completely different, like looking, which is weird. Basically, because they need someone to fall, the whole don't fall. So he made it like that. So someone's gonna fall, obviously, right?
Yes,
that's the whole thing.
Yes,
right.
They would not have mentioned it.
It's obvious, but he didn't need to do that. It's plot convenience that he made it that way.
Yeah, he was nice to them on the penny thing so that he could be mean to them on the handrail. The handrail.
Yeah, no guardrails, nothing. Just hey, don't fall.
Yeah. I had a thought. I had a thought that made me chuckle internally. What if Penny and Cinder get in a fight and they both fall, and instead of Penny's not having her boots being the thing, what if they just completely forget that the maidens can fly, and then Penny and Cinder both just fall and they're like, oh no, they're done.
Don't tease me with a good time.
New ship, guys.
Penny and Cinder fall off to never be seen again. Oh, come on. Give it to me. Pump it in my veins.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Oh my god. Okay.
Who here's the question: who do you guys think is going to fall? Honestly, who's going to fall?
I think they're gonna fall,
I-
but they're gonna be rescued. And also, if they do fall, it's gonna be for more than 30 minutes.
The young fox girl, like the fox kid, the kid that's floof so seat, like that's the person that's gonna fall.
What's
So,
wrong, Bex?
so let me get straight, Dashie.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're going to fall and get saved?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Oh,
because
so-
that's.
so
I mean,
you-
I'm not wishing for it. Believe me.
So you see what I'm saying with this whole no ramifications thing in the show, where
Oh no,
things, bad things don't happen.
I felt that way before you said that.
Yeah,
like,
I'm saying like
I know
so you're
that
like
it needs to be
you,
happy.
you see it coming. You see it coming. Like
It needs to be
the
happy.
continuation of foolishness. I see. I got you. Yeah, I agree.
Please don't do that because I didn't say that.
I'm of
I
the
said.
opinion that
Okay.
That is exactly what they would do, right? Yeah.
No.
Fall, but then it gets saved at the last minute.
the I was gonna say like my pressing one, and
Oh,
I've
another
maintained
one.
it since. Oh, what?
Another one.
Plot twist.
Oh,
Ironwood
okay,
is
let's see.
actually
It
an
is
older time traveling
Naughty.
Jon
Double
Snow
Blade 69
escaping
donated
a
another $3
reincarnated
saying,
Dany.
plot twist. Ironwood is actually an
Ironwood,
older
I
time
must
traveling Jon
escape
Snow
from
escaping from the
MU,
reincarnated
Queen.
Dany. Ironwood, I must escape from McQueen.
Danny?
Wow.
I don't know.
From Daenerys.
Oh,
from
I don't. Oh.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I gotta
Okay,
freaking watch.
But I
that
was gonna
already.
say, I think
Just skip the
I mean,
last
the
season.
more interesting option is that Rwby falls, and it's not like it's instant death. I
Thank
think
you,
it's
by
like
the way.
you go to a nether realm type deal, and like you have to like do some persona face yourself type shit that goes on. like she's gonna have to like get some esoteric fight, and like she works her way out of it somehow.
What if the show just continues in that nether realm for the rest of the show series, and that's it? Is Rwby in that area, in that
And
nether
then,
realm?
so
forever?
basically, like
that's-
Alice in
that's what you
Wonderland
get.
kind of thing.
That's
No,
the
it's-
last episode of Evangelion.
That's how you reset the show. Like Rwby falls, no, Team Rwby falls, and that's the rest of the characters. You never see them again, and they live in this new alternate reality, and they reset the show that way.
Oh my god, Rwby becomes an isekai.
Salem is going to become Salem from the Abridged, and they're just going to be like playing Monopoly and Uno while they're falling.
And then they'll
Yeah.
invite Fatman falling, Vex Fiora, Cats and Felix, and they'll do in the middle of like their coffins. I don't know.
Ooh, Abe Zelvig has a question or a comment, some reaction. Mentioned that they'll probably throw Salem into the pit to get rid of her, and that's a good point.
Series
Hey,
over.
remember what I said about a fucking jar? Get a jar, scoop her into it, throw it in the pit.
You have
the
the
one
relic
that-
to take-
Solved.
Oh, that idea that Fatman almost wanted to steal her and stuff. I remember that.
Hey, blue guy, can you make a jar that Salem can escape from? Boom, show over.
I guarantee he would ask for the schematics.
Okay, I know. I need a reference. Yeah.
Then you go to Jin and be like, "Hey Jin, I want to know how to make a jar that Salem can't escape from," and then
No, then you just say get creative. Like, okay, and then that's it.
yeah, you just say that.
I mean, just say pickle jar. You ever tried opening those fuckers? God damn it! You'll never get out. Not like I. use
Salem
pickles,
can't
but
run
need
herself under
Ozma to
hot
open
water
it.
from inside the jar.
Can you
Just
create a?
put an actual pickle in there for good measure.
All right, the rest of this question is
once
just
hired to
a
kill a guy with a
statement.
pickle.
Okay. Let's see. Do you, by Elvin Sage, do you think the writers gave Penny a human body specifically so that she'd be nerfed enough for Cinder to finally get another maiden kill, or is it just because they overlooked that Rwby could have
I'm
asked
starting to
Blue
get
Ricardo? I love it, Blue Ricardo.
I'm being convinced
to
by
make
Fatman,
to make
but
Vexifer. I'm
no,
reading a
my bad.
question from our lovely patron. Let's see. I
Well, hurry
lost
up.
my place. I lost my place. Damn it! A computer using Penny's architecture, and then have him transplant the original virus onto it. So, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what I read because that's my
Yeah,
mind.
I'm about to
That's my mind. It just reads. I don't absorb. You're the intellectuals, not me.
Did anyone catch that? All I heard was Penny, virus, and Vex.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Did they?
That's what matters.
Yeah. Did they nerf Penny? And my question is, were Penny's robot parts ever part of her strengths? They've always been a weakness to her, right?
What?
Like,
I'm literally in the first episode, in the first volume, she downed like an entire fleet of airships.
And stop the car, a van.
Her
a truck.
robot parts allowed her
I
to
don't think
like
that was the first one.
decipher which was the real Cinder. That's how she defeated Cinder, because of her robot parts.
oh shit, you're right.
Oh man,
Oh
I
god,
forgot.
this volume had episodes before this one.
Yeah, stuff happened.
Yeah,
Just
I
not
mean,
that.
this volume.
had a
I thought the
fight.
first half of this volume was pretty good so far. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
If they did do that, I'll be like a little annoyed, but mostly I'll be fine.
Oh my god! Like, Emerald's not on the bad guy's side anymore, so it's like,
Yeah,
but it'd be
so-
hilarious if like she tries to do that again and like it does the exact same camera stuff, and like you realize that she's disoriented because she's not doing the thing that she would expect.
or Emerald flips on them at the end and helps Cinder. Like this wench is a real simp. Yeah, that's possible.
Blade charge basically, it's the same thing, the same type of answer. We talked about it basically about. He wants to know about like the loss of powers and stuff. So, same question.
There will be a confrontation between Emerald and Cinder. What will happen? I don't know, but it's gonna happen.
All right, Josh
Hot
Kapoor.
hate sex.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
But Janice, do we know she wouldn't have lasers? I thought that was like her weapons. They made it very clear that her weapons were not physically part of her. Because even though they fucked up by like pretending that she had a backpack on in the first season, they did retcon that into her having a backpack full of swords on in the first season.
But if it
That's
wasn't
true.
if it wasn't part of her, how did they hack her with a sword?
Yeah, that's
fair
the
point.
thing.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
I love how that's always the last when you don't know what else to say. That's your go-to. Anyway,
Um,
No, but
Yash
he's right though.
Kapoor,
It's supposed to be a weapon, and then it turned out being like a part of her. It's funny.
Penny's
Yeah.
gonna need to learn a new weapon basically. But
Sure.
Yash
Yeah.
Kapoor asks,
She's a maiden. She'll be fine.
what's one moment from each volume that you remember the most? Can be
That's
good or
hilarious.
bad. Just curious.
most. I mean,
I remember them.
That's a lot. That's literally like eight
yeah.
distinct.
Not going to go
moments.
through every volume. No, not each volume.
Volume 1 is Rwby yelling at Weiss to stab the Borbatusk in the belly. That's the moment from Volume 1 I remember the most.
Because this question is a lot of thinking and it's a lot of like things we
Yeah.
have to go through. I'm going to change it to the whole show. Just one for us.
One for the entire show. Jeez.
Sorry, Rash Kapoor. That's a lot. That's a lot.
The Nevermore kill in the
Yeah,
first,
me too.
in the first
Me too.
volume. That's such an iconic moment for the show.
Me too.
Even though like you can break, Fatman did a really good job breaking that down in his review. That fight still gives me a little bit of chills because there's just very solid movement and choreography.
And the music was perfect to that.
Oh yeah.
Guys,
In the whole show,
yeah.
I don't think I'll ever be able to forget the phone call in Volume 5, Episode 10, where fucking Leo is like, guys, you can do the plot now. It's the last 4 episodes. And he hangs up. Like,
that's what's the
I don't think I'll ever be able to forget that.
next.
One go-to that keeps popping up is the whole. I have an image of Volume 5, Chapter 11, when you have like the heroes looking at Leo.
Yeah.
Right before Raven pops up. I have that vision in my head always because that's like the one that led to the whole like ultimate foolishness. And then I also have the image of Rwby in Chapter 1 when she like breaks out of the store and like does her little pose.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Against Scorchwood. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
magic.
All right.
God, it just realized that the composition of this show has really gone down the drain. When it's like Rwby standing in a street holding her weapon is just such an iconic image, and like I can't think of anything in the last 3 or 4 volumes that has really captured that kind of iconoclasm.
Yeah,
Iconography.
I'm trying to think about
Yeah,
it.
it's closer to iconography.
The thing that's iconic. That's what it is. That thing.
But
Alright.
you get what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I think that happens with every show. Like, it's always going to be like those first moments. I think.
What's the
not
last?
every show, with a lot of shows. Not every show.
What's the last thing you can think of that was like frozen in your mind? Like, yeah, that's Rwby. This is Rwby right here. This is Rwby. Like, what's the last image from this
This
series?
is Rwby, but then I know Rwby already, so I can't be like, this is Rwby because that was Rwby. I met Rwby already.
okay, penny falling, but even that doesn't strike me as much. Because I'm actually with the penny falling thing, I'm more reminded of Halo Reach.
All right.
Because you plummet to your not death quite, but you plummet down to your planet without a parachute. Actually, you have a parachute. It's weird.
Volume 5, when Weiss summons her knight, and the music hits when it falls out, when it's falling out of the sky.
Okay.
That was pretty cool.
With her song. I love
Yeah.
that song. Okay.
Jumping.
Yeah, you got to do that high note.
I'm
you gotta...
a woman.
Okay.
Sorry, wrong
BT
story.
Rando. You got to tell me how to say your name. Is it BT Rando? Is it Bitrando? All right.
Bitrando.
Bitrando. Okay. Do you
Bitrando.
think? Do you think the writers will tackle the narrative between the refugees and Vacuo?
I mean, tackle in what sense? Like,
Would there be
physically, like when they start writing it, like somebody tackles them out of the sea. Like, I mean, I can only hope.
okay? Would there be resentment since these two kingdoms
this
fought
is-
each other during the Great War? Would there be resentment?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, the guy that was in the this was the big thing that the guy had moral objections to. Like, he's very scared they're going to go for some kind of contemporary like refugee crisis message. And even though like the two stories are nowhere near equivalent to like the refugee crisis being caused by what's happening in Atlas is nowhere near equivalent to what's like happening around the world with different refugee crises, like crises. So it's like that's where like that moral objection came from. If anyone was curious when we were talking about that, but like I don't know how they're going to pull that off because like why Vacuo? No one likes Vacuo. Vacuo is a shithole.
The phrase that I came up with that I'm probably gonna put in the volume 8 review whenever that happens. Subscribe. But I was thinking about how to word it, and I was saying that they are circling so they have time to build the drain. They're not circling the drain, but they are circling.
It's just you see them try and like submerge in the middle of like this water. Like it's not happening. Okay, we gotta go back and circle again. We got more time.
Keep going. Like they need the people there for some. Like they need to do a magic of friendship, trust, love, fight the power. They need they need to do that big thing. And well, I mean, what better way to do that thing than to have two entire populations of people come together, hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and then Coke. Like and have a Pepsi, yeah. with the Grim on one side and the civilians on the other side, and then Rwby just like brings them a Pepsi. They're gonna get the destruction relic. No, it's a
Coke. Everybody needs to drink.
Pepsi's the meme. There's the meme about Pepsi with like the whole like bridging the gap and uniting.
Yeah. I thought it was like I wanna that song. It's a Coke. It's Pepsi. Both then. It's colas. Okay. All right.
What was
next fucking question?
With Kendall Jenner. That was the Kendall Jenner Pepsi ad. Okay.
But the virus wasn't attached to her soul, right? That was we were talking.
Yeah, like I said, that's the moment in the review the reaction where I was like, "Suck it, Nora."
Okay. So it's Bitrando. That's what I saw. That's what they say. Boy, girl. Okay. If the genie was so interested in the new body, wouldn't he be more likely to make that new body? Didn't he, though? Isn't that what he did?
No, because he was asked specifically to make the old body, effectively. He's like, all right, just basically take these all apart, then reassemble them. And then he's like, well, there's just one component that I can't, that can't be removed from what you've requested of me. What do you want me to do with it? And it's just like, well, do what you have to do with it. It's like, okay. And like, that's the loophole. It's not like, it's specifically what you ask of him that vanishes.
All right. Coco. Ask. Okay. Coriander. What's another co? Forgive me if this has already been asked, but why? Why Cinder being potential last boss. I mean, we don't know this yet, so let's hope the fuck not. How about that?
That's what it is.
Okay. Cinder really
because,
sucks as a character, and I generally don't think they will bring Salem back really until the end of the credit teaser. Yeah, I think that.
I think Salem's done. Salem's done for this volume.
Yeah, me too.
Once you look at the whole arc of the volume, how, like I said, I brought up earlier, they opened up with Cinder, they gave us this backstory, they had her cry like a little baby for no reason. It's all about Cinder. She's the start in the beginning, in the end. So no Salem for the rest of the volume.
But what if they're building to Cinder's death? Like, what if, like, the thing is, I hadn't really considered it, but like, maybe this was their way to ease us into Cinder dying. Because remember what we said about like, oh, you establish all these things about these different characters, and then they have death flags. Well, we got Cinder's backstory. We saw her fail. We saw her getting, chewed out for her failure, and now we see her like confidently going into this confrontation. What if she's the one that falls and dies?
I would be thrilled.
I would be thrilled.
Yeah.
And it's all shadowing because
Foreshower.
Like that would actually be like, that would make volume 8 well worth it.
What about the lyrics in the song in the intro where it said sometimes it's worth the fall to some shit almost implying that one of the heroes are gonna fall.
Have a nice trip. See you next fall.
What's the last line of the intro song? Second to last line. Sometimes it's worth the risk to fall. Some shit like that.
I must remind you that the version of the opening we've been watching this entire time has been the one with the Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Oh, that's true.
We only did that twice, but
music.
okay.
Oh, no, we've done it 3 times now.
Is it 3?
Well, me and Fatman have been putting it in. Like I put it in. I
put it in after, but okay.
It is. Sometimes it's worth it all
Janice?
to risk the fall.
To risk the fall. So yeah, they're risking it.
You're risking it. Yeah, they might not fall. You're right.
That's where you...
Yanis Maku Domaru.
Ooh.
This for to Raymond. How weird is it that they put "It's My Turn" in the show for the first fight of V3, and it was only because of its title? I have not paid attention to the music in this show since volume 2. So that's a Molly question. And then Vezi is our last one by the looks of it, or I guess we have a few more coming in. But just tuning in, and I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but any clue why they didn't just ask the creation relic to turn the anti-gravity for Atlas back on? It doesn't solve any of their problems.
Right. Not
like
long
at
term.
this point, the entire area, within and around Atlas is basically just, it's untenable. It's an untenably defensible. You can't defend that. You already have Grim on Atlas. You have Grim in Mantle. You have Grim all over the place. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria, and you just throw them. Just throw them to a different place. Like as much as I complain about Vacuo, at least it's smarter than leaving them in Atlas.
Yeah, the smart thing would have been to use the relic of creation before Salem got there, but Ironwood was a dumbass. So
yeah,
that printer has been the star of the show today, guys.
I
This
know!
stream
They
is
know
brought
I'm
to you by
dreaming.
Raymond's printer. Oh god. So
professional.
again, we're going to
Yeah.
Ravenwood.
Yes, Ravenwood asks, why is Penny clothed? How is she clothed? Why no
the
boots?
same thing,
Most
but no
importantly, why Penny? Because in order, because I said so, because I said so, because fetishists, because I said so.
Yeah, the clothes are part of her.
yeah, I wonder.
Oh my god, that's horrifying. Like they're just like they're like just molded. Like they're not clothes. They're skin.
Yeah, I
Ew.
want to say that them having her barefoot was their way of saying visually that she's a human now, in a way. For whatever, like this is how they wanted to do it. Like that's their way of saying that. Oh, she's in their mind, barefoot means real person.
They watch too much Tangled.
Right.
All right, Floof. No, come on. That long? Send just straight up copy.
Since a relic of knowledge can try to copy things if he was an example.
That's wishing for
That-
infinite wishes.
I mean, all right, you can wish for more relics.
I feel like that would get like. I feel like that's probably a hard rule. You know, no infinite wishes type deal. Few more questions that we have going on.
Yeah,
here.
let's got a couple more. I say another 3. I think we're good because it's starting to just loop around to the same things. But this one right here hasn't been asked. That's a good thing here. And I have questions about the fight. So
Ryan Carson, Ravenwood's just basically saying, yeah, why is she clothed? He's just clarifying what her question was. But we answered like, why is she clothed? Just because that's how the guy decided to do it. And
Yeah,
he's
they want to get the shippers, not those artists.
And I think maybe the gloves and the boots were actually like built into her body, so like that's why she's barefoot and like barehanded. I think that's probably why, is that she doesn't have any. There was no clothing for her boots.
The only force more powerful than the creation relic are the sensors.
I think there was a actual scene where her glove got cut, so I don't think the gloves are a part of her like suit or her body.
she was
But
missing a
I get your point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Carson asks, do you think that Elm, Harriet, and Vine will make a comeback and try to stop our heroes, or just keep being complete jobbers? The latter.
Chris, why are you ruining it for this? Why are you ruining it for everybody? This is a question only thing, and you're supposed to be my mod.
Go
Come
to
on
your
now.
room.
Get out of here. Go. Anyway.
Harriet would be the only person that's
you.
still on Ironwood's side at this point.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, didn't they get arrested or stopped?
They stopped. Yeah.
Because
They're having
Meryl
tea,
hit them
remember?
with the stay. Meryl hit them with the stay, so they're screwed. They're out of the loop now. They're irrelevant.
I
They're
mean,
done. They're done, son.
Unless they break away or escape somehow.
yeah, how long do you think they'll be like that? And I think obviously Elm was already starting to show some stuff, and then they started doing the thing with Vine with like, I was thinking about the good old days or whatever, and then she was like, you know, Harriet's like full blown Ironwood, so she's gonna die.
They were straight up setting up a fight between Harriet and Crow, and if we don't get it, I would not be surprised. Yeah, like look at the intro. Look at the whole build up. The whole every time they brought him, Crow, Harriet got mad. I'm gonna go fight them. I'm waiting to get at those guys. Been setting up the whole volume.
Well, I mean, they've been teasing Emerald Weiss in the
You keep bringing that up.
Yeah, you do though. He does.
That's your go-to. That's your go-to. Like,
I love that
intro
you're getting to
line.
know
You
him more.
basically- Yeah.
I love it so much.
Whenever,
don't get your hopes up
Yeah.
because of the intro.
that's his go-to. Yeah. Every time I bring up the intro, like, dude, Emerald, why?
It's true though. You gotta give it to him.
Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And nothing happened. The intro matters.
That's adorable. That's adorable.
The intro. Yeah.
Even the fall, even when they show like Team Ruby falling, that doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. They're falling.
You know, right?
Weiss is mint.
What?
Janice says Emerald X Weiss is mint.
Oh, that's
'Cause She's
nice.
cold.
How
she's
about
gross.
chocolate chip mint? Because she's like darker. Ayy.
Yeah. Mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip.
Let me double check that.
I always,
Ruby
uh,
shipping suit.
I always. Is there
I
like an
go to the
official
shop
way to
frequently.
say that? Because like, I don't even know why I'm talking about this right now.
Yeah.
All right, let me.
Emerald and Weiss is family jewels.
What?
What? No.
What?
Ew.
Ew.
Oh, okay,
Ah, that meant me.
Oh,
Ew.
wait. And then there's family jewels, and there's Snowflake in the Rough, Diamond, Princess in the Pauper, Precious Snowflake. I like mint better.
Mint is
Yeah,
so
mint's
good.
cool. Mint is is nice. All right, last 3 question, you guys. Here we go. I think we did last 2 questions actually. Our master, hey, will the other Aesops that aren't Marrow gonna fall so Rwby won't have to give them character?
Be a random gust of wind that knocks them off.
Just someone sneezes and oh damn, my
Ten-
elm roots don't work on this out of world material. I don't know.
If the villains were smart, they'll use Emerald because she can look like anyone, and she just like boop knock someone off at any point. We'll see.
Boop with the song. I'm gonna. You've been watching my video too much, Vex.
Like how hilarious would it be? Like everyone's, oh, I'm walking across, everything's cool. All of a sudden, some random person just knocks him off. Like, who the hell is that? And it's Emerald in disguise.
Okay. All right.
Penny sneezes and she doesn't know how to control the maiden powers in the human body, so then everybody just like gets blown off the
Everyone got
side.
blown off. Yeah, everyone because of her power. That'd be theirs too.
And Abel, this is gonna be the same as like wishing for more wishes. He wants to know what's stopping Rwby from making a second relic of creation and using that and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
that's just.
That's
I don't
just
think that's ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just genealogy.
Now that I think about it, Raven's semblance is a better version of the damn system they're using to transport people now, because there's no tunnel or area. You just walk right through into the next to the other place. So
Oh yeah. Yang could have just said, "Hey, like my mom's semblance."
semblance,
And
exactly.
they're like, "What was Summer's semblance?" And it's just like, "No, I mean like my biological mother."
Yeah, they're like, no, my deadbeat mom, yeah, Raven.
Okay. I
And
had
then
a
they
question,
reveal.
had a question for Vex. I know that that it was a mini ass fight with Ironwood, very mini.
Yep. Less than a minute.
You did not like it, yeah? Not because of the
no.
length. I'm talking about with what happened. And is it logical? I guess. And was it?
No, the second Emerald joined the other side, Ironwood was screwed because Ironwood had no idea Emerald was working with him. So it's always going to be a beatdown. I didn't like the fact that it was the way to set it up. Yeah, it was going to be a beatdown, but they didn't have to set it up like that. They could have made it so that Ironwood was hip to Winter. Ironwood like knew that Winter was trying to play him. They could have did a lot of different things. Like I don't know why they didn't go that route. I figured Ironwood, okay, clearly Winter is knocked out Mero. Maybe Ironwood was hip to it. He noticed. He knew the whole time. Thought they were gonna like go in that direction, but no, he was completely fooled by Winter. It was which meant it was going to be a complete ass kicking. So it was ultimately anticlimactic, and the whole ultimatum was really a waste of time.
Yeah.
What about as far as like? I know I'm not a fan of this myself. I don't like to use this word because, excuse me, and I agree with people that I'm gonna say the word. What about power scaling and how he got beat? Was it even besides Emerald, like with all the punches and people against him? Like, could he have like stood his ground better?
It's like 1 on 8.
Right.
So
Or
yeah, he
7,
didn't.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And he was caught off guard, so he was always going to be screwed. I mean, they could have made it look like they could have made him go out a little better. They could have, like maybe like he has. I mean, yeah, you could. I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, it could have been better executed in terms of not making him go out like a chump. But when you have Winter, Oscar with his magic cane, and Emerald who can make people, I mean, he was screwed. Like once you have Emerald there, they might as well just wrap it up because Emerald's gonna use her semblance at any point and then make. I mean, there's nothing he can do to counter that Emerald. So,
All right.
yeah, she's OP.
And to the other two boys, has anything changed since the reaction for that fight?
For that fight, not really.
I've just realized how stupid the weapon is. That's about where my that was literally it. Is like Ironwood's weapon got dumber and dumber in my head as I thought about it.
But we don't know what it does. What if it's like
It doesn't matter what it does. Like the way it's designed is just ass backwards.
it gives you back problems, exactly.
It gives me wrist problems. I already have enough pain in my
The
wrist. I don't
fact
need
that
hair.
well,
Excuse me.
I will say that I will say this. He has the Aesop's there, and he sends him away to go deal with Crow. Fine, but you have a maiden showing up there. Don't you have more backup, more like a plan B, C, like something goes
This is
wrong?
another acknowledgement that maidens ain't shit.
There
then-
was always a chance that she was gonna fuck you up. Like she could have killed him.
Yeah, but
In
then
that
he
moment.
had Winter, and apparently Winter is fucking badass as fuck.
Even so, him and Winter's not enough. Like you should have known that they would have tried something. You should have plan B, C, D. Then again, Winter's in on it, so he's screwed regardless. But still, like the fact that it was just over like that is just like interesting. But then again, Winter's on their side, so if he had another plan, it didn't matter because Winter's in on it. So yeah,
All right.
fair enough.
Would you, any last I don't know, rants?
Fuck this show. No, I'm
Okay.
joking. No, I'm joking.
Fuck this show, essentially.
With care. Fuck the show with care.
gusto.
And don't leave it your number the next morning.
Cinder fall into the pussy.
Oh God. You have been loving that phrase since last week. you
That's so fucking random.
posted it. You were like, it's probably up in your room
so-
somewhere. You look at it every
random
night.
It's random as shit. It's funny as fuck.
I did not expect that to come out as like one of my most memorable quotes, but I'm so happy it did.
Okay, guys, it's that time. I guess we'll see you next week, right? So,
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Do the things. You gotta subscribe if you haven't. And love you. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
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 Catch you all on the flip side.